Peace, kings and queens. My nephew's out the door, acting crazy, crying, so you guys get to hear him. I apologize for that. I hope that you guys are in a nice, quiet, safe zone. If anything ever happens in my background, I really do apologize. Not alone. And unfortunately, because of other commitments, this is the time that I have to do it. Not unfortunately, fortunately, because I love being here with you guys. But if ever, by this time, you guys pretty much know what I'm going to be saying during the Mindful Minute. If you ever need to just pause or mute me and do the Mindful Minute by yourself, please feel free to do that. It's really definitely about you getting into a place, a state of mind where you feel safe, where you feel free, and ready and willing to delve deep and get to this work, right? So let's work. Got some theme music, but we don't need that right now, right? Sorry, babies. Alright, let's make the best of it, as always. Feet flat on the floor, feet flat on the floor. Hands open flat like this on your lap. Eyes closed, and let's take a deep breath in. Breathing in positivity and charisma, positive energies and vibes. Breathe out negativity, shame, pride, embarrassment. Breathe in optimism, safety, nurture, love. Breathe out judgment, criticism, understanding. Breathe in one last time. Overstanding, open-mindedness, open-hearted forgiveness to yourself. Exhale. Pain, hurt, resentment, cycles. Yes, okay. Keep your eyes closed. Think of a happy place, a safe place where you feel free, unburdened, a place where you trust. Okay, open up your eyes. Welcome back. Welcome back. So, last time, I think it's the absolute best activity ever to allow your mind to let go and to really, without limit and without bounds, say this is what I would like for myself, right? And trust me, it was not for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. It was not for nothing. It wasn't for nothing. It was for something. There you go. It was for something. What I'm telling you is that along with some one-on-one coaching, spiritual coaching, and along with this workshop, what you wrote down may not be exactly, but the happiness that you felt from writing that, the guidelines of that, like I said before, if you want to be an astronaut and you have 10 children and you don't have no steady babysitter and you 50, okay, maybe you can't be an astronaut, but maybe we can find out a way for you to go to NASA somehow and intern somewhere. Just be close to it. Maybe we can find somebody for you to meet. There are ways. There are different variations of everything. You understand? There are ways to be happy. There are ways to make your dreams come true, no matter where you are in life, no matter what you've done, haven't done, doesn't matter. As long as you have breath in your lungs, you can do it, right? All right. So now we're going to move on to the next chapter. And this is the 3rd chapter. Once again, here's the book. On My Way to the Throne on lulu.com. You can get that. Make sure you have your journal with you. Make sure you have your writing utensil with you. If you're in a group, make sure everybody's in a good place. Listen, as we go along with these groups, I'm telling you, if there's ever any static, if there's anything that goes astray, resolve it. If you cannot resolve it, if there is a necessity to be excused from the group or to excuse somebody, I have to hone in on this because I am not actually physically there, and I need to know that everybody feels safe. That's very important. It's very important. that everyone feels safe and everyone feels comfortable to really delve, that everybody trusts one another, because especially when we start to get into these chapters, the third one, I'm working on my posture, changes the way I view the world. You have to make sure that whoever you're doing this with, it's a sisterhood. You know, that this is a woman, that these are people that could tap you and say, hey, you bugging. What's up? What's up with that? Boy, I don't know. I think he was a little wrong with that. Listen, that's the real friends. That's real sisterhood. When you can pull a sister to the side and say, look, you tripping. Like, you was wrong for that. No, never embarrass your sister. Never embarrassed. You know, always show allegiance. But at the same time, you could check somebody, let them know what's going on. That's real love. You know what I'm saying? So make sure that that's what you're surrounding yourself with. It's the only way that it's going to work to your benefit. It's better to just do it by yourself if you're not going to be around people that you have trust in. I know, well, she keeps saying that. I have to. I'm not there. You know, I'm not used to doing this over the computer. I'm used to doing this with people, one-on-one, in groups, where I'm physically there to, you know, help guide and monitor the situation. So, yes, I'm going to keep honing on it. Third chapter, I'm working on my posture. It changes the way I view the world. I know we all remember the older women, especially at church, constantly telling us to watch our posture or to sit up straight. You ever notice when you do sit up straight, you feel different about yourself? Almost more important. I drive a truck at Expedition, and I notice sometimes when I'm driving, I get real slouchy. When I notice, I sit up. And when I sit up, I feel more in control of myself and more in control of the vehicle. I feel like if something happened, I would be in a better position to defend myself and maybe prevent an accident. The same is true with our spiritual posture. When our spiritual posture is up to par, we are better equipped to make the best decision for our greatest development. There are levels to attain astute spiritual posture. I can't speak for everyone, but I can tell you the obstacles I face. First, I had to get honest with myself. I had low self-esteem. I didn't have a true love for myself. I valued myself less than anything else surrounding me, and I built myself on the good deeds I did for others. Keeping count, not because my generosity wasn't sincere, but because other people's experiences with me was all I used to define myself. And so far, it turned out that it was never enough, that I was never enough. But how could I be enough to anyone else if I wasn't even enough for myself? Did I think I was worthful? If so, why did I inhale cigarette after cigarette just to pass time in a dimension that seemed inescapable? Was I ever really intelligent, or was I just book smart? How could I be playing a bottom bitch for 15 years with a wife title? How did I sell myself a lie and refuse a refund? The trickery of a thing. And I found my way out of this fog and onto truth. I admitted my lack of and my over excess of. I bathed in shame and dried in public. My nakedness available for all to see. I felt free and ready to move. But that would only be the conception. There would follow the growth, the labor, the birth. After the shackles were removed, I was free to either run into another prison, one with prettier illusion, or run free in truth. I had been a liar in the past. I had been manipulative and cunning. I had been envious and greedy, lustful and self-indulgent. I confessed these things out loud. No embarrassment, no fear. In fact, it felt liberating. I felt chosen. I urge you to be honest with yourself. Now you don't have to go as far as air your dirty laundry on social media. That's how I did me, you do you. But once I got honest with myself, it changed the way I viewed others. Now my posture is on the incline. I started to see the humanity in every act. I noticed the times when I was acting out, lying, causing hell for someone else. It was because of a lack of fulfillment in myself. I wish someone had seen through the anger and the tears of rage and uncontrollable fits and see the hurt. I was compelled to see it in others. I had no longer viewed my dad as a selfish deadbeat. I understood his struggle of running from self. I understood my mother, my husband, at the time and the women who have been with him. At first, some anger and hurt still remain. Perhaps that's natural, but with time, I began to accept that everyone has an experience, and when we intertwine, we affect one another in profound ways. I want to have a positive effect, and if someone is offering something different than that, I'm like, thank you, but no thank you. This forgiveness and overstanding for myself flowed over to others and caused my scars to heal. Now, don't get me wrong, every day is a different day. Every day I'm faced with the decision to rehash old memories or move forward. Sometimes rehashing brings a comfort zone. It's familiar to be able to point the finger, to feel victimized, to say he or she was the problem and not me. But be real with yourself. We all play a part in our own success, and we play an equivalent part in our own demise. After you have stripped yourself bare and bathed in truth, you are of appropriate fits to bow before the Most High and seek His mercy and guidance. This may be where I lose some of you. People tend to not like the idea of the Most High. This is not something that I can help. You need not feel forced into any way of thinking. This only requires that you seek the highest part of yourself and surrender to it. That means you are operating in love and consideration. First for yourself, and then for the basic principles of humanity. You know the basics. Treat others the way you want to be treated. Don't lie, don't steal, don't cheat. The basics. When you're making a decision, think of it a few times before you execute. The same with saying anything out your mouth. And I learned that from, I studied for a while with the Nation of Islam, a wonderful, wonderful organization, a bit too strict for my blood. I'm a little bit more than that. Religion is kind of confined to me. But I learned that from the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, to think of a thing at least 7 times, I think he said, before you say it out of your mouth, or before you write it, or before you execute it. Spend time with it. You know, a lot of times we are rushing to give an answer. A lot of times people rush to answer something and they haven't even heard the question. How many times do you do that? You go to answer something, you be like, oh, what? You know, you got to back up. Like, that's not even what I was about to say. That's not even what she asked, or whatever the case may be. Right? We always rushing, you know, and we'll find ourselves rushing other people. We know somebody that take a while to make up their mind about something. I'm not talking about ridiculous amount of time, but somebody take a minute, you know, to answer you because they thinking about it. We be like, damn, she's slow. Like, you know, people, you know, she book smart about me, and she book smart, but she's slow. I try to take my time now and think about a thing, because once you put it out, you know, really once you've thought about it too many times in your mind, you know what I'm saying, you might as well have put it out. You know, if you keep having this negative, that's just as bad, you know. So it has to start from here. But especially when you put it out, you can't never get that back. So be careful about what you put out. Okay? Excuse me, after 7 times, it's actually 5 times. And like I say in the book, I have not professed in this area as of yet, but I'm working on it. Still the same. I have not professed. I've gotten a lot better. Okay, when I deal with another individual, I put my best foot forward, because when you get real with yourself, you are responsible for checking yourself as well. And nobody wants to constantly be the cause of a circumstance going ill. Naturally, you're going to begin to avoid being the rotten apple in the bunch. You'll start to watch what you say and how you move. You begin to look for the weight and intentions behind your contribution. You begin to be purposeful. Right? Before you know it, you are giving the best of yourself, not because anyone deserves it, not because it's a special occasion, but because you are operating at such a high frequency that you can't help giving off these waves and energies. You are no longer focused on what was, nor are you putting any of your eggs in the basket of hope for what's to come. You are present. You are mindful. You are equipped with the strengths it takes to demolish your greatest enemy, you. Every so often, I'm in need of a nudge from a fellow fighter to remind me to sit up. Sometimes I slouch and speech becomes that of a sailor, and I need someone to come by and tell me to sit up. And my ego does not become involved. I see love in the reminder. I see life in the suggestion. No matter how far I've slouched, I sit up, refocus, and climb on. Okay? So, this week is going to be real work. Okay? It's going to be real work. Take a deep breath. Deep breath out. Okay. Let's go. Past 2 weeks, a little easy. Not easy. It was, you know, to delve in is hard, right? At any level. And to overstand and detach yourself from the emotion is difficult. It tends to have a little bit of KY jelly on it when you're talking about things that happened in the past, right? Because those are past events. And the hindsight is usually 2020. Well, when you're thinking about things that happen in the present, it's a little bit more difficult because the object of accountability and responsibility is there. It's very present. It's very now. And it's very involved with feelings. And remember, part of the goal is to kind of detach from the feelings of a thing and really look at it for what it is, to get real, to really get this work, right? So this is when it's going to become a little bit difficult, because this is where we do a lot of looking at self, and that's often very difficult for people. Very difficult for people to hear the truth, let alone to tell someone else the truth, let alone to tell yourself the truth. Because we live in a world that's so built on illusions, it's crazy, right? So what I'm asking you to do is to stretch a little bit and start to exercise that third eye, right? Like I said, in my work, when it's one-on-one, when it's with groups, we delve a lot into astrology, we delve a lot into divine designs. I'm sorry. We delve a lot into the truth about ourselves. We delve a lot into our characteristics. We get really individualized, right? So like I say, I'm going to keep saying it. It's a little bit more difficult like this. But guess what? We can still do it. How? You're going to work. Do it. Let's go. Here we go. Think about yourself. Now, if I were with you, we would have already gotten your birth chart together, your divine design together, and we would start looking into your moon sign, your sun sign, your rising sign, your Venus, your 8th house, your 10th house, which is the midheaven, your south node, your north node, or your Cato, or your life's destiny, what are you here for, whatever. We would have had a whole portfolio of that. We would have delved into that. And so what I'm going to ask you to do is to take a moment to look up your moon sign. And how you're going to do that is to look up your birth chart. And you should really look into your birth chart. When you get our services, we kind of delve into that with you. And put your birth chart more into your active living right now, and how we can use what we know about you already, what your experience has been, what are your natural talents and abilities, what are the skills that you have acquired through your experiences in order to gain your spiritual growth and in order to live your best, most fulfilling life. You understand? So I'm going to encourage you at this point to definitely get your moon sign before we go any further on this, right? And start to look at the characteristics of your moon sign. Okay? And then I also want you to get your sun and your rising sign. Your rising sign is also called your ascendant. Okay? And I'm going to skip over real quick to this just so that you guys understand exactly what's going on. Okay? So your sun sign is pretty much how you go after the world. the way you handle a thing, the way you achieve the most about yourself. So like, for instance, I heard a perfect example. A Cancer, for instance, will stay in house a lot. You know, known to be a homebody, maybe a sun sign of a Cancer. Well, that's because in the home is where they are most accomplished, where they feel most strengthened, and where they feel most like a professional, I guess. So they achieve things great there. A Leo like myself, like more to go into the world. You know, that's where I'm most comfortable. So in the house, like I said, I'm very disorganized. So I'm not the best housewife in the world, but I'm good with coming up with projects and creativity and business, and you know, I'm like all over the place with that. I like that, deadlines, and that's right. So that's your sun sign. Your moon sign is going to be the way that you deal with emotion, right? The way that you how do I want to say, digest the thing, the way you take it in, how you really feel, you know. A lot of times when we get upset, that thing that we see, we be like, oh my God, I wasn't even myself, you know, I was bugging out, I was so crazy. That's like where your moon sign may be. You know what I'm saying? That's like your moon sign. That's that part of yourself. You know, and it usually has to be forced out. And sometimes when that part of us comes out, it seems like the exact opposite of what we show the world. It's like, oh, are you fake? Are you crazy? Like, you're using your mind, and like becomes this conflict. But this is why I'm saying it's okay to grow, and spirituality is so important, because you understand that there's so many aspects of yourself. You don't have to be boxed in. Same thing like I was telling you guys about religion. Allow your mind to open up. You don't have to name a thing. You don't have to put a religion on a thing. You don't have to put rules to a thing. Be limitless and be boundless. You understand what I'm saying? All of this is going to tie in together. So all of these are different perspectives of you. And then your ascendant or your rising sign is going to be what people see about you that you can't see for yourself. You ever heard anybody describe you, like the way you are, the way they see you, and you be like, yeah, nothing like that. That's because we can't see what other people see. Like, I don't really know what I look like. You don't really know what you look like. You can't see yourself the way other people see you, if that makes any sense to you. Alright, so that's your ascendant sign. So then you can get a sense of what other people see when they see you. Because you don't see yourself the way other people see you. It's just a fact. Okay? So I'm going to encourage you to pause this and come on back later and to gather that information. Once again, contact us, and these are the types of things that that we do for you. We develop a whole portfolio for you and get you started doing this work. Okay. So once you get all of that information, come on back. So we're back. That's sweet, darling. Okay. So now this is the part. If I was in your face, I would tell you just like the great Eliana Van Zandt. There will be times when you don't like me and all of this. It's not really that you don't like me. It's just that I would be bringing certain things up out of you, certain truths about yourself that we don't like to hear certain truths about ourselves. Like, period. Like, it just is what it is to be human. You know, to be a spiritual being in this human experience. It just is what it is, right? But I want you to force yourself. I want you to force yourself. I want you to take out your homework, right? And instead of well, it may be better if you do your homework like on a loose leaf paper, because sometimes it's going to take that I should have said that from the beginning. Sorry. I apologize. I'm not sorry. I apologize. Because sometimes you're going to need to put stuff, most times, side by side, so you don't have to keep flicking. But anyway, this week requires that you be completely honest with yourself about who you are. Okay? You're going to be taking your list from last week, which is those relationships that you had in your childhood, what they look like, felt like, smelled like, sound like, taste like, and what they taught you about yourself. And then you're going to be looking at your homework from Ascension, which was Well, your classwork, first of all, was to look at the relationships that you have now, how they coincide with the relationships that you had then, and also look at the relationships that you've seen, the interactions that you've seen, and how that mirrors or differs or whatever from your life, right? And then for homework, I wanted you to visualize and then write down in every aspect, just for a perfect world tomorrow when you woke up, what would that look like? Okay? Excuse me. I want you to put those next to each other. Now here comes the work. I listed a bunch of things that I was, that I have been, and if you look in the terms of addiction, that I always will be. It'll always be a part of me, I guess. Right? My ability to lie. I made up things. So I told my husband when we got together, soon to be ex-husband, that I was a virgin. I was not. I told him that I was raped. That story didn't come out of my own mind, but it doesn't matter. I still lied. I was around other girls that were telling stories I wanted to be a part of, low self-esteem. I told the story, right? Thought I was pregnant once, very early on in our situation. Found out I wasn't, but was enjoying the attention that he was giving me. So I kept the lie going for a long time until I had really gotten pregnant with our daughter, right? So I can sit up there right now and I can say, you know, I had such low self-esteem. My father wasn't around. You know, I just really try to create a reality for myself. Now, I could say that, but that's not. I mean, it is true, but it's not. The truth is that I was a liar. I lied. Period. You was a liar. And at the time, 17 years old, I knew it was a lie and it was bad, but I really didn't get that I was going to suffer consequences for it. God knows, if I would have known that, I wouldn't have done it. Sometimes we don't know, right? But I say, I'm a liar. I don't lie anymore. Now I tell all my business to everybody. But I can do that and I can tell a story and I can say I'm a liar. Or I was a liar or whatever. It's okay. It's okay. Because what I learned was that when you get to that part, what I learned was that I have a brilliant mind. It's very creative. I have the ability to conjure up things and make it believable. You're going to use that power for good. You're going to use it for bad. You're going to use it to create illusions for people and trap them in some warped world that you made up in order to feed whatever insecurity or invalid or void feelings that you have. You're going to use it to create works of art. Use it to create organizations, to create programs. Use that mind. Okay? That's it. Liars are mostly just creative people without an outlet. It's okay. Like, you can say it in a positive way like that if it makes you feel better, but make sure you say out your mouth, I lied. And what I can say is I lied, and I will never know what my marriage could have been or would have been or should have been, because I already polluted it with that, and that was my fault, and I had nothing to do with anyone else. That's on me. I lied. Okay, moving on. I'll give you another one. So I have to write that down on my list. Liar. Because this is before. This is while I'm writing this. I'm going through this while I'm writing it. So, right. So, first on my list, it's going to be liar. Okay. Secondly, I wasn't super crazy dumb sexually active, but I was sexually active. And my husband used to always say to me, you know, he saved me from being a hoe, basically. I saved you. You know, talking bad about my family and stuff. The women in my family, you know, he said that they were so promiscuous. He heard things that I had never heard these things about them, but he did. Or, well, a couple of them I heard. But that's normal. Just a couple of people. He make it seem like it's the whole everybody, right? I used to get so hurt by that. Like, damn, he think I'm a hoe. Like, I'm not a hoe. Like, oh my God, why would you think that? Okay. Gotta realize that, guess what? Both times my husband, soon to be ex-husband, and I separated, I had about, let's see, we separated twice. I had about 3-4 one-night stands. So perhaps if I wasn't wiped up for all those years from the time I was 18, perhaps I would have been a hoe. Because obviously I have some type of disconnect with the intimacy with sex that I could just have one-night stands. And besides me being somebody's wife, I really didn't feel too bad about it. It just was what it was. It was sex. So, could I have been a potential hoe? Maybe. We'll never know. But thank you if you saved me, I guess. I don't know. Potential hoe. Could be promiscuous. Well, that's a what if. So that's not really a good. See, I'm not really used to doing this. I'm used to focusing on other people. So I'm trying to give y'all examples to get you up and started and boosted. That wasn't the best example because that's someone else's perception of me. But it doesn't matter. You get what I'm saying. Don't pussyfoot around yourself. Get real. Okay? This is why I asked you to be in groups. You know your sister. You know her outside of what she knows. You know what the world can perceive. She does not know that. You are doing her a favor. It's like when people feel nervous to tell somebody they got a booger in their nose. Why? That's your friend. Tell them. You just gonna let them walk around with a booger in their nose? Same thing. Don't let your friend walk around blind thinking that they're this, that there's some victim and they're this and they're that, and you know what it is. Okay, this is the perfect opportunity, girl. We are in this workshop together. We are sitting here in this group together, girl. I love you. Girl, I love you. I just want you to be the best you. That's why we are doing this, okay? And I just want you to know that you keep getting mad at your baby's father for cheating on you, but you forget that you don't even know if this little boy is his. It might be his brother because you've been fucking both of them since you met them. Like, I just want to kind of get real with you here. You understand what I'm saying? I'm saying stuff like that. Like, get real with a motherfucker. Like, bitch, oh, I be hearing you say that, but you forget. I love him. He's the love of my life. It's like, damn, did she forget that she just told me she hooked up with Shimi at the club? Damn, maybe she forgot. You gotta get real. Because that person not being real with themselves. Be a friend. Nudge them. Adjust that posture, homegirl. We on our way to the throne. Cut the shit. You know who you is. Stop it. Make a list. Be real with yourself. You can laugh about it. Pour a glass of wine if you want to. You know, in this group this time. I really don't suggest wine usually in these groups because you don't want anybody to be intoxicated. You want everybody to be of sound mind. These are really intimate, really deep issues. You don't want anybody to get overly emotional because of alcohol and make silly decisions. So I really never suggest alcohol. But, you know, a little bottle amongst 4 or 5 or 6 people. Everybody just have a cup or a cup and a half or something. You know, that's okay. Just to loosen up a little bit. You know, so you could be like, girl, so... you know how you keep talking about Lisa and how she a hoe? That be bugging me out because y'all pretty much do the same things. So, you know what I'm saying? Like, you gotta get real. And you're not allowed to go past this chapter until you do. Spirit won't let you. It don't have nothing to do with me. It's a very spiritual work. I forgot to tell y'all that part. Your spirit won't let you skate past. It'll catch up to you. You can't fool yourself with this. So just really do the work. Don't waste your time otherwise. Just turn it off. Just turn it off. So as you make your list, right? So now you have your list from childhood. Those relationships, how it felt, looked, whatever. Felt, taste, looked, heard. You have your what it taught you about yourself, how it made you feel about yourself, what it taught you about yourself. Then you have the second week where you're looking at relationships between other people. You're looking at how the relationships from your childhood impact your relationships now in your life. And then you have your, what would the perfect world look like next to that. And I want you to take a look. I want you to see how your relationships from when you were a child, chapter 1, the relationships now, how they compare, what type of growth have you made, right? When you look at the list, and this is not you, these are just those things that we need to tackle. It's not about flaws, it's not about shortcomings. These are the things that need to be tackled. These are the things that I need to improve in order. And how do you know whether or not it's something you need to improve, or if it's something that's just like, look, this is just what this is. You know, for instance, you know, I can't jump double dutch. Some people say, oh, you can learn. Look, I'm 33 years old. If I didn't learn by now, I'm sure I'd have the capabilities. For some reason, it just don't click. I can't jump, but I could turn. That's okay. I don't got to spend the rest of my life trying to learn how to jump double dutch. It's cool. I'm the turner. A lot of people don't like the turn. I got that. I'm playing my part. Okay? Everything doesn't need to be changed. You can look at the serenity prayer for that. But how do you know what needs to be changed and what doesn't? Look at what your perfect world looks like. And now look at the list of things that you wrote about yourself, the truth about yourself, things that you're not masking anymore. Listen, this is me. It's not the best, but this is me. What on those list of things prohibit you from getting to that dream? So for instance, if you say, like me, I have to keep using myself. This is kind of awkward because I'm not used to doing it like this. But like me, I have a really bad time with being on time. Really horrible. And in my perfect world, ta-da, I run my own business like that. So I had to learn how to be on time. Because there's no way that you can run your own business if you're not on time. I had an issue with procrastination. Listen, so now look, tonight I'm sitting down, I'm doing everything. And I do that to myself a lot. I sit, I turn off the phone. I don't take no nothing. I don't want to, I meditate. I do what I have to do. Yes, I have my recreational things that I do. And I cut myself off from everything. And I sit and I focus and I do it because I'm a procrastinator. Let me get it out the way. Because I wanted to do my business. So these are the things, you know what I mean? There's other things about myself. And nobody's ever going to be perfect that I can just say, oh, that's okay. It's not stopping me from doing anything. I mean, I would like to get better in this. But if I told, that's okay. I can have those things if I want to. And so can you. But when you look at the list, what things on that list are preventing you from achieving that life, that ideal, that vision that you have? These are the things that you need to change. That you need to transform. Change is the wrong word. I'm working on my language. That's in the next book. Transform. So you guys will see the next book throughout this workshop. When you guys read the next book, you'll be like, oh, it's cool. I like it like this. This part I like about doing it over the internet. Because you guys get to see the growth. Get to see the mistakes. So yeah, tell the truth about yourself. See what it is that you need to change, right? And be forgiving with yourself and be compassionate. We are oftentimes a lot more forgiving and compassionate to others than we are to ourselves. So lend yourself that forgiveness that you give to others, that compassion that you give to others. Okay? Be loving with yourself. Be sweet with yourself. A lot of the things that you really learn in childhood when you really had no choice. So you can almost deal with it like it's that child. Firm. Get your point across. But don't be harsh. Don't abuse yourself. Love yourself. Right? And that's proactive. That's solution-based proactivity. Solution-based proactivity. Maybe it wasn't a good idea for me to do it all in one. Because I'm starting to get tongue-tied. But I gave my word, so this is what I'm going to do, and I don't want to procrastinate, and I don't want to fall back on my word, so I'm going to do it. And I don't want to be a liar, because that would make me a liar if I didn't do it. See? I'm doing it too. We all do it. Okay? So solution-based proactivity, guys. I love you so much, and I will see you next time. Let me see, is there any, yeah, that's the activity. That's the homework. I'm sorry. I was making sure that I am not missing anything. Okay. So that's the work right there for tonight. Put those things side by side and see on those list of things. And make sure you're real with yourself. Get some outside input from people you trust. Once again, like I said, if you need to. If it doesn't make sense, it don't make sense. And money is not everything, but money is a representation of success in this world. That just is what it is. It's energy. It's a representation of the give back. Be it good money from not so great sources. This whole money is evil notion. Get rid of that. We want to live in abundance. We want to live limitlessly. We want to bring all that great energy into us. And we can't do that without absolute truth and honesty. And the universe won't give us back openness if we don't give it openness and limitlessness. So be limitless in your exploration of self. Okay? Date yourself. How interested would you be in that man you're sitting across from? How much do you make him feel like what he has to say, what he feels is important? Do that to yourself. Look yourself in the mirror, gaze in your eyes. gaze in your own eyes. And we fall short sometimes. We could be procrastinators. We are never on time. These are the things I used to say to myself. You gotta, okay? So solution-based proactivity, guys. I love you so much. I will see you next time. Make sure you do your homework. Write in your journal. Write in your journal. This is stopping me from achieving this because when I procrastinate, I don't get it done. How am I ever gonna have my business? What can I do? Stop procrastinating. How? Positive thinking, positive results. Every time you have the opportunity to do something right there and now, do it. Push yourself. Push, push, push. This is work. This is real work. Work, 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 work. Push, okay? All right. Solution-based proactivity. I love you guys. See you in a little bit.